So what is their condition? You encourage them. That is the role of the teacher. The role of the teacher is not just someone is telling that just to get wish, just to get a. So the students, you have to earn the respect, you have to earn the honor. That you know that values are deteriorating day by day. The respect can be earned. It cannot be demanded. Many are telling the values are deteriorating day by day. The students, they are not giving respect to the teacher, and another thing I am telling, most of the parents, they are telling teachers are not teaching properly. I can tell you, if a teacher performs his duty as a passion, as a true professional, as a dedicated one, and you money will come. That is another thing. Salary will come every month, you will get, but the self satisfaction, the honor, the respect, the dignity in the society, and we remember only few people. We never remember all the teachers in our lives. We just remember few people. That
Sir, sir.
নেটের প্রবলেম হচ্ছে মনে হয় কানেকশন প্রবলেম
Hmm, 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 hmm.
actually, my students were calling again and again. Just I had to inform them that I am coming. If continue. Sorry for interruption. Uh, am I
Okay, sir, you
audible?
continue. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You
Just
continue.
5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, I am ending. Uh, you see that as a teacher, we have many things to do. I have experience that as a teacher, we should neatly dress. That is the need of the hour. Many teachers, they are not that. There is no code conduct, dress code, and there is nothing mentioned. Nothing mentioned, and no country. There is only a few states they have, a few countries they might have. But I can say the teacher should be neatly dressed, and that should looks nice before the students, because you are a role model. That should be there. And another thing, and we should be as a teacher on this particular day in the present context, I can tell you, all the participants, that you try to give your best, and no two individuals are alike. I cannot say that everyone supposed to give the give a particular level. That according to the own merit, according to the own abilities, the teacher supposed to give their best. And another thing, try to solve the different types of problem. Your role is not to complete the syllabus only. You are a counselor. You are just a guidance personnel. The teacher is a guidance personnel, and you have to go beyond the syllabus. You have to see the vocational aspects. You have to see ensure the educational aspect as well as social and personal aspects. And love your profession. Many of us are আমাকে ভালো লাগছে না, আমি why I entered the profession. One of my colleague just 1 year back, she joined through CSC. She is telling, I joined in teaching profession to earn money and to entertain my music career. That's she dance well. She's an English teacher. I'm not telling the name. She never take class. She used to come and sit in the office in my staff room. I was at Kolkata just 5 months back. I
Oh,
came back and joined at Odisha.
Oh, yeah.
You know that I have worked almost 12 years. And she used to come every time. She used to come most of the time with a sleeveless, whatever. I'm not going to criticize, because you know that most of the students are undergraduate, and their personality can be molded from the teachers, and teacher is a role model, and the teacher if we are not able to impose some values among the students, how we can expect the students they will do all the same and never attend the class, never go to the class, sits whole time. And she was a teacher for many years. Last year she joined also CSC. So how the respect will come if you are not doing the justice to your students, and you are an English teacher and that is the vital subject, and there are so many texts. You suppose the students, they used to complain me. I used to tell, this is not my lookout. You just complain the principals. And she is not bothered. She was not bothered about who is telling what. So that you have to see what others are telling, what others are inferring. That self-realization is the most important aspect of a teacher. Many of us, we never care what others are telling. You have to care. You have to see the interest. You have to introspect yourself. That should be the role and responsibility of a teacher. That not only completing the syllabus, not only having I'm going through a car and I'm having a big building and there is a stamp, I have a doctorate, I have PhD, DLEAD, so many qualifications, so many diplomas and degrees. That does not matter. What is your contribution towards the society? Society expects a lot. Society needs you, and you need to contribute to the society. You need to help the students. That is the vital. As a teacher, you contribute to the at least whatever you can. Just don't think that this is a pace and just for the sake of money I am doing. Many are in that attitude, particularly the country like India. Because of that, the quality is deteriorating day by day. We cannot say that because of the parents, because of the society, because of the primary school, everyone telling, the college teachers are telling, what your teachers have taught you during higher secondary and secondary. You know nothing. And the secondary and higher secondary teachers are telling what your teacher have taught you in the primary and upper primary. And primary teacher is telling what you have learned in preschools. So these are the things we are telling. So sustainable development is there. Minimum level of learning is still expected from each level, because the students, they don't have minimum level of learning. That we have to, and whatever NEP is telling, that 50% gross enrollment, only enrollment we can increase. The quality, what we have to ascertain the quality, we have to ensure the quality. Quantity and quality both are the parameter of each and every level of education. That we have to contribute. And as a result of, I am telling you another thing. Lab is there. The teachers, they are not using the labs. You know that resources are there. We are not using the resources. So whatever available, make use of the best in this particular day. I respect each and everyone, and namaste to each and everyone. Enjoy the teaching profession, enjoy your job, and this is and the society and the country needs best teacher. Country needs the efficient teacher. Country needs the efficient professionals in teaching profession, and that's why we have to a great role for molding and for shaping the future of the country. And you know the destiny of India is being shaped in your classroom. So if the destiny is shaped in your classroom, then we have to many things to do within and outside the classroom. That is my point. That is my views. Because of half an hour I lost because of the connectivity problem and all. So that is why I'm not going to linger it much. I have another program. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Thank you the organizer. Thank you the convener, and thank you the principal of the college for giving me an opportunity, for giving me an that means a platform to share my views, to share my feelings on this special day, Happy Teachers Day to all. And even if this is my one request to the students they are not that they are not in the present day, they are not having good study habit and maintaining study habit, and that is the vulnerable in West Bengal. I was there for 12 years. And you know that in other states compared to West Bengal, there is a good study habit that the students they need to develop. I have realized the students they are losing the study habit. And earlier days in West Bengal, most that was known for the knowledge, that was known for the wisdom. The people were respected study habits. They were good learners, and they were good. There are good personalities. Even if today there are many, but the modern students, our students, they are losing that patience. They are losing that enthusiasm to study at least 2 to 3 hours every day. And they are simply telling we are not getting job. Then are you fit to get a job? What you have done, what you have contributed for getting a job, and you prepare yourself. Job automatically that will come to you. That you empower yourself. That is the role that every teacher should suggest to the students on this Teacher's Day, that you just perform your duties, you just develop good study habits. Definitely don't expect the fruits, don't expect the result, and you contribute yourself. You that means continue a good study habit. Definitely you will get success one and other. So thank you all. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Amulya Kumar Acharya. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Majhi, Pintu Kumar Majhi. Actually, some sorts of problem arise, so I could not do justice with you all. I had prepared a slide also. Anyway, so you can share the slide if at all possible to the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You have highlighted the challenging role of the teachers in this pandemic session. It's true, technology cannot replace pedagogy. Thank you, sir, for your enlightened speech.
Thank you.
On behalf of Sarsuna College, we the organizing team beg sorry as some technical problem arises in the beginning of the session. Please be patient. Thank you, sir. Now we are moving towards our second session. In the second session, we have with us Dr. Shravanti Maiti. She did her MSc in Economics from Calcutta University. She gained her PhD degree from Bardhaman University under the supervision of Professor Maniklal Adhikari. She completed her postdoctoral research from Ghent University, Belgium. Currently, she is working as an associate professor of economics at Vidyasagar University, Midnapur. Earlier, she was appointed as assistant professor of economics in Assam University. It's a central university, Silchar. During this academic journey, she has published more than 40 articles in different reputed journals and edited books. She has supervised 5 PhD and 3 MPhil dissertations. Presently, 4 candidates are pursuing PhD under her supervision. Her area of research interest are applied econometrics, human development, gender studies, and socio-economic facets. Welcome, Shravanti.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mondal, giving me this opportunity, and good afternoon to one and all, and my respect to my elders, and as well as to the dearest students and the other colleagues who are present here. And I wish all of you very happy Teachers' Day. It is only in Indian culture we celebrate Teachers' Day, and this actually carries us the eternal truth that in India we carry a legend of Guru Shishya Parampara. So I really feel very privileged to deliver lecture in this pandemic situation, and I don't know whether I will get time, but I thank for organizing this situation under this situation, this kind of event. Let me present my let me present my file first.
I'm sure.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Uh, So my topic is, as you can see, is online learning is a panacea during the COVID-19 crisis. Of course, it is a panacea, and I'm going to prove that being an economic student, considering an hypothesis and at the end try to prove it is my tendency, and that is what I'm going to do. I am not going to take much more time because we are running late. Now, in introduction, what we can say that the last 50 years have been huge growth worldwide in the provision of education at all levels. And this COVID-19 is the greatest challenge that this expanded national education system has ever faced. The COVID-19 pandemic outbreak forced many schools and colleges to remain closed temporarily. Several areas are affected worldwide, and there is a fear of losing this whole ongoing semester or even more in the coming future. Various school, colleges, and universities have discontinued in-person teaching. These circumstances make us realize that scenario planning is an urgent need for academic institutions. If we do not do it, feel that it will go on that we can teach, we can practice this face-to-face interaction. But unfortunately, many governments have ordered institutions to cease face-to-face instructions for most of their students, requiring them to switch almost overnight to online teaching and virtual education. There has been, fortunately, rapid evolution in the range of software since the beginning of 21st century to support learning in universities. The range of software available can be used in teaching learning during not only in pandemic situation but in disaster situation, because I'm going to show you that this is not new. This pandemic we may face the first time, but this kind of online teaching is not new and become a panacea in some certain circumstances also. So I have given here a definition of organizational resilience as given by Ken Richards and al. in 2013. But that is not important. What is important is that this online teaching is no more an option. It is becoming day by day and necessary. The major part of the world is on quarantine due to the serious outbreak of this global pandemic, COVID-19. And therefore, many cities have turned into phantom cities, and the effects can be seen in school, colleges, and universities too. Therefore, the quality enhancement of online teaching learning is crucial at this stage. Online teaching in Chinese universities has increased exponentially after the COVID-19 outbreak. Now there are different methodologies and techniques for the online teaching. And in these circumstances, they become necessities. In fact, we are also in Google platform and we are using the Google Suite for this session also. So I have just mentioned here the most of the Google tools like Gmail, Google Form, Calendars, Google Jamboard, Drawingboard, Google Classroom, Google Meet. Other than this, open board softwares are also available that is not developed by Google. But what is important here, these tools can successfully be used as an alternative for face-to-face classes, which is most important because the time demands that we cannot have face-to-face classes at the same time. We cannot use the session. We cannot.
Sorry, Shravanti.
Yes.
Your screen is not visible.
Not visible.
Yes. Now it's coming.
Is it visible
Now
now?
it's coming. It's coming, but not yet visible.
Is it visible
Yes.
now?
Now it is visible. Now it is visible.
Okay. Now
Yes.
visible?
Yes, it is visible. Perfectly all right.
Okay, hope so it will continue. Okay, now what we can do that this kind of problems is also we are facing in class while we are taking classes. I guess everyone is facing audio problem, video problem, screen is not visible, but we cannot shift overnight to our online teaching mode without facing any challenge, and that is what we are facing that these tools are really can be used as an alternative to the face-to-face classes. However, we cannot rule out the importance of the face-to-face classes. Now, what are the problems associated with this? There are n number of technologies available for online education, but sometimes they create a lot of difficulties. These difficulties are problems associated with modern technology, range from downloading errors, issues with installation, logging problems, problems with audio and video, and so on. Sometimes students find online teaching to be boring and unengaging. I think that is also true. In fact, some videos are closed when we take classes and we don't know whether the person is present or not. And we sometimes actually search that whether really the person is present or going somewhere else, and I am just only one is talking and talking about boring economic subject, maybe boring not for me and Dr. Moodle. Anyway, so logging problem and unengaging. Online learning has so much of time and flexibility that students never find time to do it. Personal attention is also huge issue facing online learning, and that we all know that students want personal attention. Some of the students sometimes ask some questions to grab attention, and that is quite natural. You know, when we were students we also do that way, and by that way we want to prove that we are here to learn. So these are called signalings, and that signalings are not possible in case of online teaching. Students want two-way interaction, which sometimes gets difficult to implement. The learning process cannot reach its full potential until students practice what they love. Sometimes online content in all are theoreticals. You know, I covered econometrics, applied econometrics, and I face lots of problem in online teaching because it's a totally a board type of paper. It's a pure, not it's a practical type of paper where I used to ask students to come on the board and used to do something which is not possible. So when I teach, I prepare some PowerPoints and then I go by that way. And I myself feel that it's become non-interactive and maybe non-interesting for the students. Also, now mediocre course content is also a major problem. Students feel that lack of community, technical and instruction are the major barriers of the online problem. But how can we expect that overnight we can have a technique, we can have a platform where we are not going to face any problem? Online teaching learning process is the only way out in these circumstances, and we have to face that problem. We cannot do anything with it. The most important challenge I think faced by the institutions, because they have to reframe its education structure so that they can help the students as well as the academic staffs. Those, you know, some of the academic staff may be like me, not aware of this these online teaching methods and all these things. And we also fear that whether we will be able to perform our duties properly or not. So this is actually the educational institutions are also in pressure because they have to take the challenge to give proper guidance to their academic staff and to help their students. Now I'm coming to that. I have already mentioned that EdTech technology is in startup in the time of Corona, but it's not new for India also. You know, it was started much earlier. In 1927, Sidney Presley invented the first teaching machine, which is famously used and nowadays we are using it frequently. That is the MCQ machine. And in 1960s, online education originated at the University of Illinois, and in 1994, India is not lagging behind. That EdTech journey finally began in India. Recently, around 2010, EdTech startups entered the market intending to disrupt the education sector. Now, I'm talking about the EdTech, and one of the most famous EdTech, particularly in 2019, which is the most valued EdTech company is become, that is Byju's. Byju's are advertising also, and as suggested by the UNESCO, that EdTech startup and learning apps can help students during such hard times. As I mentioned, that this may be the new situation for all one as they together at the same time. But this is not new. That kind of disaster faced by the hampered the teaching learning process in significant time. Now, after demonetization, digital payment companies are now becoming popular. We are those who were not used to. We are now using Paytm, Phone Pay, that kind of things, Google Pay, and that these companies are getting their monies. Not only that, what is most important is that these EdTech companies are helping students invest. Zoom classroom, Byju's, then our Unacademy, these type of companies are getting are boosting up their business, but they are also helping. Now, our speaker talked about Swayam Portal. I was in Central University and Swayam was introduced. Unfortunately, it didn't continue, but it is also an interesting educational program that was initiated by Government of India, and it was initiated with three objectives. That educational policy, that is access, equity, and quality. So, Swayam Portal is helping in maintaining access, that students can access it, equitably can access it, that in a school, in the classroom, we may be biased to a particular student, or when we are giving lecture to a particular, concentrating on a particular group of students, maybe, I'm saying maybe we are biased, but that kind of things are not possible in Swayam Portal. However, it doesn't become so popular. Even in Assam University, 2 or 3 years, after 2 or 3 years of introduction, they didn't pay and it just went up. And during this COVID-19 time, this Swayam can be a great help to the students and teachers also. Now, as I mentioned, that this kind of situation is not new. From the source of Save Children, I just pointed out some of the times where this kind of online teaching becomes a panacea, become a platform where teaching learning process can be continued without any kind of problem. But as I said, that it is not a wholesome good package. There are problems, and first, what we are now going to discuss in brief, of course, are three things. SWOC. S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunity, and then C stands for challenge. So first we are going to discuss the strength of this. Of course, we should mention the strength first because we don't have any other option. Otherwise, we have to lose the whole semester or more than that. E-learning method and process are really strong. These strengths of online learning methods can rescue us from this hard time. It is student-centered and offer a great deal of flexibility in terms of time and location. The e-learning methods enable us to customize our procedures and process based on the needs of the learner. Now, there are plenty of online tools available, which is important for an effective and efficient learning environment. Educators can use a combo of audio, video, and the text to reach out to their students. In this time, a crisis to maintain a human touch to their lectures. This can help in creating a collaborative and interactive learning environment where students can give their immediate feedback, ask queries, and learn interestingly. Anyway, problems are there. So let's just talk about the weakness. Now, as I mentioned, the weakness, first one is the technical difficulties that we are also facing. The technical difficulties and the learner capability and confidence level. Some learners may not be able to understand online discussion process, and they don't feel confident about that they can present themselves, they can ask question online, and when it is in case of a younger students class, it becomes very difficult because all the students try to speak at the same time. So that management is very difficult. Now, as I said, time flexibility is a strength. It becomes a weakness for the program also. The problem is that since you can participate, as I said, that you stop the video, you stop the microphone, and then you can move on and go somewhere else. And teacher is doing her duties or his duties without knowing whether the person is only physically present or not. I'm not saying mentally present. Even in classroom, students even physically present, mentally absent. But yeah, mentally absent, so you forgot. You can't even check that whether the person is physically present or not. Second is that the confusion. It creates a confusion that what kind of question it will come. That is the frequent question we find, and how we will give the assessment. I will try to briefly discuss the assessment issue also. That confusion and the final one, which we also want, that physical attention. That is another problem with this issue. Next one is the opportunity. Now, opportunity are there. Online learning generally has a lot of opportunities available, but this time of crisis will allow online learning to boom, as most academic institutions have switched to this mode. Online remote working and e-collaboration exploded during the outbreak of coronavirus crisis. Now, academic institutions can grab this opportunity by making their teachers teach and students learn via online methodology. This crisis will be a new phase for online learning and will allow people to look at the fruitful side of e-learning technology. This is the time when there is a lot of scope in bringing out surprising innovations and digital developments. Already, EdTech companies are doing their bit by helping us fighting the pandemic and not letting learning to be put at the halt. Now, we have to do our own. Users can be of any age. That's a problem because we may not be very used to this technique, but some young teachers who just joined in the teaching profession, they may be used to this technique and they are enjoying more. And the innovative approach, we teachers, we don't have any age for learning, and we have to learn that how can we cope with this situation and how can we do our duties under such circumstances. Second, the challenges, most important challenge is that continuous electricity supply, continuous having a, you have to have an internet access. I teach in a rural university and I sometimes find that my students are sitting outside the room in the garden, and when I ask that why you are sitting here, they used to answer that inside the room there is no net connectivity, madam. So that's a problem in rural areas, and we cannot expect that everyone have a laptop or desktop or a smartphone so that they can participate. In case of this, in such a situation, government of India needs to put emphasis to produce indigenous computer so that the price of the computer can be low cost and it can be availed by each and everyone. Jadavpur University has undertook some facilities for the students, and they are trying to provide smartphones to their students or some net packages. But the problem is everyone is facing that kind of problem. Most importantly, digital illiteracy that we are also facing, and the cost. My students, when we are trying to have a timetable for that, we cannot have more than 2 hour class online because they don't have internet availability, data package for them. They can at most attend 2 hours classes. So that is very costly, and we cannot expect that our educational institutional will bear that cost. So we have to find out way out for this. Now, as I mentioned, that now the biggest challenges we are facing is the assessment. I can say about Vidyasagar University, earlier it was decided there will be no examination this year. Only the internal we will take 20% and 80% from the earlier whatever result we got. And by that way we have announced the fourth semester result. Supreme Court verdict came and that result is now nullified. So we have to take one more examination, and that completely the administration is in complete pressure. In social media nowadays it is a very burning topic of sharing hot takes that students can write their answers by opening books or by taking the help of the Google auntie and all these things. But the main challenge is about the teachers, because when students is assessed, at the same time teachers are also assessed. How they taught, how they performed their duties. And I think in our academic council, what is said by one head teacher, that we should prepare question in such a way that no Google auntie, no book can help. Only attendance in online classes and attentive participation in online classes and in-depth knowledge of the subject can help the student to write the answer. So that's all. I hope I have completed within the time, because Dr. Mondal said that I have completed within time. I hope I have completed that. Now, if you have any query, then you can ask me.
Thank you, Shravanti, for your in-depth study on online teaching, learning process, and its strength and weakness. You have very well addressed the challenges of online teaching. Thank you, Shravanti. Now we are moving to our last technical session as we are running late. Uh, so in our last technical session, we have Dr. Professor A.K. Bakshi, founder, Vice Chancellor of PDM University, Bahadurgarh, Haryana. He has been Executive Director of Tertiary Education Commission, Mauritius. He was selected for his prestigious position through an international selection. Prior to joining TESC, he has been Vice Chancellor of UP Rajashri Tandon Open University, Allahabad for more than 2 years. Professor Bokshi held the prestigious Sir Shankarlal Chair of Chemistry in the University of Delhi for more than 2 decades and was also head Department of Chemistry, University of Delhi during May 2010 to August 2011. He has also been a visiting professor at GGSIP University Delhi during 2007. Professor Bakshi has also served as director of the Institute of Lifelong Learning as well as of Center for Professional Development in Higher Education of University of Delhi during 2008 to 2010. Presently, Professor Bakshi is the chairman of National Resource Center of Chemistry of the MHRD, Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of the
Okay,
MHRD,
Chameli,
and
may I
Center.
request you to be brief?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Professor Bakshi has been recipient of several awards and academic honors like World Education Award, Haryana Ratan Award, and Bharat Jyoti Award. India dedicates Association and 2014 Special Award for Excellence in Digital Content in Education, and many more. Professor Bakshi was felicitated 2 times for distinctive and outstanding contribution to education, including e-transformation of the University of Delhi by the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Professor Bakshi was elected as the president of the section of the Chemical Sciences of the Indian Science Congress Association for the year 2011-12. Professor Bakshi has been a member of the editorial board of the Indian Journal of Chemistry and Journal of Scientific and Industrial Research, published by the CSIR, and also the chief editor of the UGC-sponsored journal Chemistry Education Review. Last but not the least, Professor Bakshi has also the distinction of being one of the first person from the universities in India to have been selected as the member scientist of the third Indian research expedition to Antarctica in 1984. Welcome, sir. Welcome to our webinar.
Thank you.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are very much audible.
Esteemed Dr. Shubhankar Tripathi, Principal, Sarsuna College, Kolkata. My predecessing, other speakers who have already spoken, Dr. Amulya Acharya and Dr. Chirabanti Mehti, and then the members of the organizing committee, Dr. Pintu Kumar Maji, Dr. Chameli Mandal. Then we have also Dr. Pyali Das Gupta, Dr. Indranil Nath, and Jaita Paul, Devramita Banerjee, Amindita Pani, Gargi Chatterjee, and technical advisor Saurabh Kumar De. And there must have been many more people behind the scene. Why I prefer to take their names? Because, these are the people who really work behind the scene. Institutions need to be acknowledged. And also, last but not the least, all the participants from across the country. It's a great pleasure and a privilege to have got this opportunity to speak at a webinar being organized by Department of Education and Department of Economics of Sarsuna College of the University of Delhi. As a matter of fact, when I was approached for this talk, I gladly accepted the invitation because I really wanted the people to know what type of work is being done in India and how the education scenario in India is changing. So, with that intention, I accepted the invitation and I am here today to deliver a talk on the topic, the changing face of higher education in India, challenges and opportunities. So, before I start my talk, let me share my screen. Is my screen visible, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
this is a topic which I feel could be of interest to everybody as to what all is happening in the higher education scenario, what are going to be our challenges and opportunities, and what all you need to do in order to excel in such a scenario. So that is basically the purpose of this talk. I will start with the current higher education scenario in India. Just have a look. In India at present, we have almost 1,000 universities, 50,000 colleges, 1.4 million teachers, and 37.4 million students. As compared to 1950, you will all agree that there has been a considerable growth. There is no doubt about that. But still, our gross enrollment ratio is only about 26.3%. That means out of all the youth in the age group of 18 to 23, only 26.3% are able to pursue higher education, which is not good. On one hand, we say India is one of the youngest nations of the world, but then almost to 3/4 of its youth, we are not able to provide higher education. The new education policy has put a target of 50% by 2035. But we will have to see how it is achieved. Then, international ranking of our universities is very poor. All this raises question over access and quality of education. In the recent QS ranking of the world, 2021, the highest position which Indian institute has occupied is IIT Bombay with 172 position. And the only university which comes closest to 500 is University of Delhi with 501 rank. So, all this is a matter of concern. And then, we need to provide education to our population with equity. We have to be very fair. And you can see very well the difference in the meaning of equality and equity. Before I move further, let me now come to the importance of higher education. We are all in higher education. And we know that education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. The best way to change the world is make your people educated, develop human resources. That is the need of the hour. And according to new education policy, the goal is to have India a global knowledge superpower. And the pillars of education, according to this policy, are these, 5: access, equity, quality, accountability, and affordability. These are the main pillars of India's education. And we are all in the teaching profession. And today is the Teachers' Day. We should take pride that we are in a profession which creates all other professions. Had teaching been not there, no other profession would have existed. So that highlights the importance of the teaching profession. And it is said that the future of the country is built in the classroom. So that basically summarizes the importance. Students may be just 20% of our population, but please remember that they are 100% of our future. So we need to invest on them. We need to make them what we want our future to be. And please also remember that if your education system collapses, if quality goes down, examination system becomes defective, it will lead to the collapse of the nation. You don't need any other thing. So all this shows the importance of higher education in India. Now, what are the challenges in the emerging higher education scenario? One is, in India, there is a serious dearth of creative minds. I would say that there is a crisis of creativity in Indian education system. See, no Indian scientist working in India has been able to get Nobel Prize after 1930, when C.V. Raman got the prize. After that, nobody has got it. So it's a matter of worry that in 90 years, no one has obtained. These were some of the people who got, but then they were not working in India, they were non-resident Indians. Even in economics, the Amartya Sen, who got Nobel Prize, but for most of the time he worked abroad. Even Abhijit Banerjee is an American citizen. So the question is, why a country with a population which is so large, we are not able to produce, Nobel laureates? Please remember, all this basically reflects on the quality of education in India. Nobel Prize is not a lifetime achievement award. This is something which we have to keep it in mind. And if you really want to excel in research at that level, you need many things, but most important are perseverance and resilience. Last year, one Nobel laureate in chemistry, he is, I think, 97-year-old. Just imagine. Then you need enormous amount of creativity and open-mindedness. This is also required. Because, creativity and open-mindedness cannot come in one day. It has to be nurtured. And then we in India work in isolation. We need to have collaboration. We need to bridge and build, more bridges rather than walls. Just look at, India has the third largest scientific and technical manpower in the world. Look at this. Publications wise, India is number 3. It's a big thing, but this was a report in the Times of India. Out of the 4,000 most cited researchers in the world, only 10 are from India. That is 0.25%. So, this basically reflects that the quality of our research is also not world-class. We need to improve on that.
Sir, sorry for interruption. Your screen is not coming, sir.
Screen is not coming.
Yes, sir.
But here it is showing. I stop sharing and I do it again.
No, it's displaying, sir. Just continue. Someone has presented his screen in between. Just
So it
continue,
was
sir.
Okay.
working all right. Is it working now or not?
Yes, it's working.
You know, for creativity and innovation, the greatest device is a curious mind. So we need to encourage curiosity amongst our students. You know, Albert Einstein once said, I have no special talent, I am only passionately curious. And then, you know, millions of people must have seen the fall of Apple, but why did only the Newtons say why? So it's again curiosity. Another challenge and another thing which is happening and which is going to affect higher education scenario in India is exponential growth of knowledge. You know, knowledge in all disciplines is growing very, very fast. As a matter of fact, the doubling time of the growth of knowledge has shrunk considerably. At one stage, it was 150 years. Then it became 50, then 5, and then it's presently 73 days. So knowledge is growing so fast.
Sir,
And you know,
sorry, but your screen is not coming again. There may be some technical problem, sir.
I don't know. I don't know. I think either somebody. It's not coming.
No, sir.
Why should it? Is it coming now?
Now, sir. Yes, it is coming.
I think somebody starts sharing the screen and then it creates problem.
Yes. Okay, sir. You please continue, sir. Sorry for interruption.
Actually, you know, the problem is that it breaks the continuity.
Yes, I know, sir.
That there is a flow which is going on and then suddenly you have to do the whole thing.
Absolutely, sir.
Anyway, you know, the knowledge in all disciplines is growing very fast. At one time, the doubling time of knowledge was 150 years, but now it has shrunk to 73 days. So this growth of knowledge is a big challenge in the higher education scenario. You should not forget that what we know is a drop and what we do not know is an ocean. And you know, because of this growth of knowledge, research is becoming very, very difficult, very challenging. Why? Because of increasing literature in each field. You may take science, you may take commerce, you may take economics, everywhere literature is becoming very vast. And then, you know, once so much knowledge is growing, how will we pass it on to the future generation? Only by making it a part of the education system. So education system needs to incorporate this growing knowledge for educating the future generation. So this is one thing which we have to keep it in mind. Another, you know, thing which is happening on higher education scenario is that efforts are being made to enhance the quality of education. Even national education policy also says that. In education, three things are very important. What do we teach? How do we teach? And how do we assess our students? How do we teach means curriculum, syllabi. Even the new education policy says that our curriculum, our syllabi should be light. Only core essentials in each discipline should be included, so that students have more time to think. And also because of the fact that the knowledge is growing very fast, our syllabi should be modern. So this is a big challenge, because in future, challenge will be what to include and what to exclude. NCRT, I am a member of this national committee which is developing new curriculum. Now there the challenge would be that how from school level onwards the syllabi should be built, curriculum should be built, so that even higher education scenario then accordingly adopts that. Second component of education is teaching and learning. This is the most important component of the education process. It's very unfortunate that our system still focuses on examination, rote learning, and scoring high marks. If in one sentence I have to say, I will say our education system does not challenge the minds of the students. This is a big thing. This is today's reality in every discipline. Everybody wants 90 plus marks, whether you have clarity or not of the concepts. Our system does not encourage thinking, innovation, and creativity. That is why I said we have got no Nobel laureate for the last 90 years. So much emphasis on learning, but hardly any emphasis on how to learn. Learning, if you keep it in mind, even national education policy also says that we should shift from rote learning to this creative thinking, etc. But then there is no roadmap. How will you do that? Because teachers are the same. Until and unless you train them, it will not be possible. We should remember that learning is a 6-level hierarchy. You start from remembrance or knowledge, go up to understanding, application, analysis, evaluation, and at the top is creativity. But are our teachers really equipped to do all that? No, not at all. At the most, remembering, understanding, and a little bit of application. That is why, the problem is, because teacher is ultimately the pivot of the education system. The fundamental flaw in our education system is, you watch this video, this will expose and make it clear. Listen.
For decades, people have been finding hundreds of flaws in the education system. No conceptual understanding, no creativity, children are stressed, and the list goes on. All these are symptoms. But what is the root cause to all this? What is the fundamental flaw in the education system? Let us play a rapid-fire game. You have 1 second to answer every question. Let's start. First question. A4? Okay, no more questions. Did you think apple first? 98% of people are most likely to think so. Because that was what we were told in our kindergarten. Imagine that this was done differently. Say we had asked you for all the words starting with A. Ant, ace, April, apt. Different answers would have popped out of everyone's head. Do you see where the problem is? Before children start going to school, every child is unique. Every child thinks different. But the education system makes every child think the same. This is the fundamental flaw in the education system. Why did this start? During the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, The education system was designed to make children ready to work in factories. The factories did not require people to think, but to only work like robots. So, the education system stripped children of their freedom to think and destroyed their true potential. The same education system continues even today. Only the industries have changed. A study by NASA shows that 98% of children think different before they start going to school. As they go through this education system, at 25 years of age, only 2% think different, and 98% think the same. So how does the education system make every child the same? Let's go back to the apple example. Kindergarten lessons told us that A is for apple. We asked you for words that start with A. Our education system gave us the answers. We asked you a question. Answers make you the same. Questions make you different. Right from kindergarten, the education system keeps giving answers. Instead of asking children how plants make food, the science teacher gives you the definition of photosynthesis. Instead of asking them to describe the sun, the teacher tells them that the sun is a ball of fire at the center of the solar system. Through their years in school, children lose the capability to think on their own. Whether it is their choice of career or their relationship or any situation in life, they become.
So I think this is really an eye-opener that we are always giving ready-made answers to our students. They accept it, reproduce it in the examination and score high marks. But we are stripping them of their ability to think. This inquisitiveness or the spirit of inquiry is slowly disappearing in our students. Please remember, without creativity, there will be no progress, and we will be forever repeating the same pattern. And creativity is not an injection which you give to any student. You have to create an environment for curiosity and a way to encourage people and get the best out of that. So that is, what is the need of the hour. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. Somebody even says education is what remains with you after you have forgotten what you learned. Because it is the training of the mind which ultimately matters in life. Even in assessment, which is the third component, we have to be very serious because assessment drives learning. And this is a very good way to enhance quality of education. Many countries have enhanced the quality of education by changing the system of assessment. They will set such questions which make them think, and slowly over the years, education will be with much better quality. So we need to make assessment process to be more scientific to encourage multiple skills of the students. So this is one thing which we have to keep it in mind. Another change which is occurring in higher education scenario is digital transformation. That means integration of technology with the education. And we all need to embrace technology. Please remember, technology is an enabler which can help achieve the intention of the person who is using it. Technology makes our lives easier and more convenient and help us to do things, more quickly and effectively. So technology is how you use it. If we look around us, technology pervades around us. Look at the practices and the procedures of banking, travel, tourism, medicine, engineering. They have all changed because of technology. So even education also is going to change now. And this is with ICT. What is ICT? ICT is an umbrella term that encompasses all communication technologies that provide access to information. Internet, wireless network, satellite communication, cell phone, all will come under ICT. And even the new education policy says the relationship between technology and education is bidirectional. They feed each other. Technology helps in enhancing the quality of education, and an educated person then comes out with still better technology. So it is helping each other. Now in India, ICT has impacted all areas of higher education. This is a very interesting development. Look at this. ICT has affected teaching learning by new pedagogies. ICT helps in revision of syllabi. ICT helps in research by giving us electronic databases. ICT helps in professional development through ARPIT programs. So all these are the changes coming because of technology. This is called digital transformation. Let's have a very quick look. If we look at teaching and learning, we talk about e-learning. What is e-learning? E-learning is learning using ICT. And even we talk about MOOCs. What is MOOCs? MOOCs is also a form of e-learning, but in a very, very structured manner. MOOC is an acronym for Massive Open Online Course. We all are familiar. But the basis of e-learning is e-content. E-content is developed from static content, which is written by teachers, subject matter experts. And then we do its multimedia enrichment. Multimedia enrichment means add audios, videos, simulation, so as to make the content more interesting. The basic philosophy of MOOCs is 4 A's. Anytime, anywhere, anyone, any number of times. So, course is available even on your phone, cell phone. You can decide your own pace of learning. You know, in India, various MOOCs are being developed, and at present, more than 2,000 MOOCs have been developed. And all of them are hosted on this platform called SWAYAM. SWAYAM is something like ATL, Anytime Learning, for MOOCs, just as we have ATM for money. And you know, SWAYAM is designed to achieve the 3 cardinal principles of education policy, namely access, equity, and quality. So all of them are achievable. For example, MOOCs can help in increasing the gross enrollment ratio. As I said, target is 50% by 2035. How will it be achievable? If you look at the track record, you know, in 2001, our gross enrollment ratio was 8.1, then 13.1 in 7-8, 18, 19, 26.3. So if we have to have 50% by 2035, it will be only through online education, through MOOCs, through e-learning. You know, MOOCs in India have been developed by the top experts. So the best of the country is addressing the rest. For many people who are fond of lifelong learning, it is a boon. And then, you know, high quality education will be available to the masses. With equity, yes, anybody can enroll. And almost free of cost, economical. So that is what the 3 cardinal principles is: access, quality, and equity. And then it makes learning learner-centric and just one click away. ICT is used in the revision of syllabi because knowledge is growing very fast, but then, you know, email, discussion forum, video conferencing, they can help in revising the syllabi much faster. In research, because vastly increasing literature, so electronic Databases are going to become the real information source in the future. They may replace physical journals. And every electronic database has a search engine. By that, you can get the literature. ICT is being used in examination, especially in the conduct of examination, whether you do it online or offline. And but just look at this. Online examination, it gives immediate results, saves time, uniform marking, cost effective, all that. Even government has opened National Testing Agency. You must have all heard, it is in the news. And most of the major exams are now conducted online by this agency. But what I am concerned is conduct of examination can change, but then who will set such questions? That is the role of the teachers. So teachers have a very important role to play in setting good questions. ICT is coming in professional development. Refresher courses and orientation courses for teachers earlier used to be done by academic staff colleges or human resource development centers. But now government has launched ARPIT scheme, annual refresher program in teaching. It has set up various national resource centers. And each national resource center has been given one discipline to develop online courses. For example, the center of which I am the chairman, this is also the National Resource Center of Chemistry. This was inaugurated by Smriti Irani.
आज मैं विशेष रूप से बधाई देती हूँ प्रोफेसर बख्शी को, विमल जी को, जिन्होंने बहुत मेहनत करके इस सेंटर को जीवित रूप में आपके सामने प्रस्तुत किया.
So, focus of these ARPIT programs is latest developments in the subject, then new and emerging areas, and also pedagogical innovations and methodologies for transacting curricula more effectively. We have already developed ARPIT 2018, ARPIT 2019. Each ARPIT program has about 35 to 40 lectures by eminent people. And they are hosted on SWAYAM platform. And all the teachers of that discipline can, learn from that. So it's a big revolution technology is doing. So you need to embrace that. I can show you 1 minute about our introductory video, which is rated to be the best in the country.
Hello everyone, myself Dr. Vimal Raj, and I am the coordinator of National Resource Center of Chemistry of MHRD, Government of India, and FCTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi.
And myself, Professor A.K. Bakshi. We welcome you all to the ARPIT 2019, which is going to provide you a unique opportunity to learn as per your convenience. For this online refresher course, we have selected a variety of interesting and exciting topics,
So that these are useful for all the UG and PG chemistry teachers of our country, irrespective of their specialization.
Let's have a look at the variety of the modules which have been developed with the help of leading experts from all over the country.
To begin with, we will have a special module as Chem News, which will bring the latest news to you from the world of chemistry.
The modules entitled Chem Talks will focus on the latest developments as well as new and emerging areas of chemistry.
In the Chem Safe Lab modules, we will focus on various measures to be taken to prevent it.
In the module on CAM Nobel laureates, this time we will be focusing on life and contributions of Agnes Rutherford.
Through the modules titled CAM Pedagogy, we will highlight on improving curriculum development and question paper setting.
You will all agree that there are many difficult topics in chemistry. In the modules entitled CAM Simplified, we will take some of these topics and explain them in a very simple. To commemorate 150th anniversary of periodic table in 2019. Anyway, so you can very well see how things are changing with the help of technology, especially in regard to professional development. So, and then ICT is also bringing about new pedagogies. Normally we teach by talk and chalk method. This talk and chalk method has some limitation. It is a teacher-centric approach, mainly a monologue method. Many complex concepts can't be explained on the board. It presumes all students learn in an identical fashion. You can't solve sufficient problems in the class. It is slow and that. But now, new pedagogies have come. One is blended learning. You can learn in a traditional way from the classroom as well as from some online course. So it is a blend. But another learning which is becoming very popular is flipped learning. In the traditional model, a teacher delivers a lecture in the class and gives some homework activities to the students. But in the flipped model, it is the other way around. A teacher, will give a video to the students of a particular topic and ask them to watch it at home. Student watches it once or twice, learns what he or she has understood, what are the queries, and then next day in the class, those videos are discussed with the teacher and other students. So in terms of Bloom's taxonomy, you can understand how it helps. In traditional model, remembering and understanding is done in the class by the teacher. Teacher explains everything. And for outside the class, all the remaining things are left to the students to be done on their own. But in the flipped model, remembering and understanding is to be done at home, watching that video which the teacher gives. And other activities, other skills like applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating, those are inculcated in the students through discussion with the teacher and other students in the class. So it is considered to be a better model. This is my article in Times of India about flipped classroom. And this is, please remember, we have to change the way we teach our students. If we teach them as we taught them yesterday, we are going to rob them of tomorrow. We are approaching a time when we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand. Because it is going to be the pen and paper of our time. And it is the lens through which we can experience much of our world. And as you must have seen now, ICT, if it is used creatively, it will totally change the way teachers teach and the students learn. Therefore, this integration of technology with higher education has become essential for environment focusing on quality, innovation, expansion, excellence, and inclusion. And now, very soon, India may also have a virtual university. And the SWAYAM platform with already more than 2,000 courses could be the starting point. And then, one more thing which you have to keep it in mind is that on higher education front, roles of teachers are going to change significantly. Normally, these are the three major roles of a teacher: disseminating knowledge, that is teaching learning, or creating knowledge, that is research or guiding research, and academic administration. But with technology, we need our teachers to become tech savvy in ICT skills. Tomorrow, they may have to manage virtual classroom and virtual discussion forum, because students who are enrolled in MOOCs all over the country, they may ask some queries. Who will answer? It is the teacher. And then, teachers need to be proficient in development of e-content and MOOCs. After all, these MOOCs, etc., are developed only by teachers, so they need to be proficient in that also. Another thing which is going to happen in higher education scenario is that India is very soon going to enter an era of education 4.0, which is a total technology-mediated education. We are presently having fourth industrial revolution. First was use of water and steam. Second was use of electricity. Third was information technology and internet. And now it is, cyber physical systems and disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence, etc. So education 4.0 is aligned to the needs of Industrial Revolution 4. What type of graduates we should produce, what type of skill set we need in future. So that will be the goal of Education 4.0. This is my article in Education Times about how Education 4.0 will work. These are the technologies of the future. And they are going to change our life. Artificial intelligence is slowly coming, and it will be used for personalized learning. Just imagine. Classroom teaching or MOOCs are still one size fits all delivery. But artificial intelligence will help you in having personalized learning. Personalized learning means, learning, keeping in view your background, your strengths, your weaknesses, your competencies, etc. So maybe for every student, there may be a separate curriculum. And this is a scheme of the Government of India, which has already been launched. National Educational Alliance for Technology scheme. Here, artificial intelligence is used to make learning more personalized and customized as per the requirements of the learners. Artificial intelligence is going to come in a very big way in examination. Adaptive assessment, algorithms will replace mentors, exams may be at your doorsteps, digital invigilation will replace physical invigilation, digital attendance, etc. Look at this. Exams may move to your bedroom, but the invigilator would still be watching. And artificial intelligence proctor will keep a watch on you, even if you are appearing from home. And image recognition technique will ensure that the right person is appearing or taking the exam and there is no cheating. So just see, it looks as technology is doing miracles. And that is what is going to happen. And all this looks like a magic. There may be a question that will technology replace teachers? This must be in your mind also. Please remember, technology is not going to replace teachers. But teachers who use technology will probably replace teachers who do not. So this is what is going to be the future. So please become tech savvy in this emerging higher education scenario. And in future, maybe for every course, from first year onwards, there will be a digital curriculum. which may be made compulsory. It will focus on digital skills, competencies, and fluencies. So that, when students, any course they may be doing, they are also learning digital aspects, digital curriculum. So that when they come out of the education system, they have all the training as per the needs of the time. So this is a big thing. And even National Education Policy has also focused on creating National Educational Technology Forum. So all these things are there. What I want to say is, with technology, things will keep on changing. Technology will also keep on changing. Technology in education is a journey and not a destination. So please remember this, and therefore never stop learning. On this Teachers' Day, this may be a message for you that you have to be a lifelong learner. Another thing which is going to happen is foreign universities may come in India now. Top foreign ranking foreign universities are likely to open campuses. It will take time, but this is already in the new education policy. So that way also the things will change. At present also, some foreign universities are having collaborative twinning arrangement, that is giving joint degrees. That exists. But what I mean is, they will open their campuses here. They may offer competition to Indian universities. But how it will work, that is still to be cleared. Then, even new higher education commission will be set up now as per the new education policy. UGC, AICT will all be gone. This will be a single body which will take care of higher education except medical and legal education. And private and public higher education institutions will have the same set of norms for their governance. I think this is a very good thing, because ultimately all of them are giving education. So norms need to be the same. We can't compromise on that. And this Higher Education Commission will have 4 verticals which will control regulation, standard setting, funding, accreditation, etc. That's all. And then, one more thing which is going to happen in future is, government is also working on preparing new leadership for higher educational institutions. Principals, directors, vice chancellors, all them. Because the role of a leader is very important in a higher educational institution. Without the appropriate leadership, the institution is like a ship without a rudder. Rudder is which gives a direction, and so the institution will become directionless and ultimately sink with all its passengers, something like that. We need to have a leader, and a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Everybody has some gifts and talents. A good leader should know how to harness them towards the same goal. This is the need of the hour, because institutions are in the hands of academic leaders. And then, a leader should also know that before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. But once you become a leader, success is all about growing others. You should take pride, you should take pleasure if your colleagues grow. That should be their mindset. Please remember, a person who feels appreciated will always do much more than what is expected. And in this regard, government has also launched a new scheme called LEAP program, Leadership for Academicians program. This is very senior people who will be trained for future leadership roles. It will be a 3-week program, 2-week domestic and 1-week foreign training. You can know the details as to who all are eligible. You have to be a professor for a few years, and then you can do this. Now I will come to the last part. When such is happening in the country, how would you like, or how should you prepare for excellence? How should you excel? So I will just summarize, what minimum is required is sound knowledge and clarity of concepts in the subject. You may be in any discipline. Then pedagogy, the art of teaching, you should know. And for research, creativity and out-of-box thinking is required. 4 C's are very important: curiosity, creativity, courage, and commitment. Then excellent presentation and communication skills are required. If you really want to captivate the audience, you should have ICT skills. Excellent writing skills are also the need of the hour, because in developing MOOCs and these skills will help. And still, even if you have all that, still you may not be successful if you don't have the right personality. Personality is something which gives you the power to excel. There was a report where I was reading about 90% of the people do not succeed, not because of capability, but because of their personality. So, you as an individual should grow. And once you grow with all these things, then your institution will grow, and then India will. So these 3 QIs are very, very important. Proactive personality means a person who prevents problems before they arise. Reactive personality is a person reacts to the problem. Proactive people, won't wait for the ship to come to them. They will swim out to the ship. That is something like that. Then, you people should have self-belief. Self-belief gives rise to self-confidence. Without this, you cannot excel. It is said a bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking, because her trust is not in the branch but in her own wings. That should be the confidence. Self-discipline is also required. Mastery over your thoughts. Don't let thoughts disturb you. Control your thoughts. Many people are very hardworking, but then you should work hard sensibly, with a strategy, with a direction. Otherwise, it's futile. And then you should have the growth mindset. Mindset can play a very important role. Positive mindset, ambition to go up. I will just show you one small video which will explain this in a better way.
How heavy is this glass of water? Melissa, would you care to answer?
8 ounces.
12 ounces?
16 ounces.
The absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. Depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold it for a minute, nothing happens. If I hold it for an hour, my arm will begin to ache. If I hold it all day long, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. Well, the weight of the glass hasn't changed, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and the worries of life are like this glass of water. If you think about them for a little while, there's no problem. Think about it for a little bit longer, it begins to hurt. You think about them all day long, and you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Always remember, put the glass down.
So, that is what you should do with your worries and anxieties, etc. Then, everybody faces failures, but you should learn from failure. You should retry with an experience. That is the lesson from a failure. Don't, failures you can use as a stepping stones to success. Have a positive attitude. All these things. And many people do not do anything because of the fear of failure. There is a very famous Hindi quote, जब तक तुम डरते रहोगे तुम्हारी जिंदगी के फैसले कोई और लेता रहे. Don't let it happen, please. And then these four things are also you should avoid. You should not remain in the comfort zone. Only those people have succeeded who have come out of their comfort zone. Many people think, oh, I am getting good salary, my wife or husband getting good salary, children are well set, are educated, why should I? So that's the end of your growth. Anger also you should avoid. Anger is a normal emotion. But what you do with anger, that's the real point. Don't let it disturb you. For every 1 minute you are angry, you are losing 60 seconds of happiness. So when you are angry, the best thing is count up to 10 before you speak. But if you are very, very angry, count up to 100. Things will change. Avoid worries. Worry is a misuse of imagination. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Do your best and then forget. Have that sort of mindset. And then also avoid arrogance. Many people, small success goes into their head. Nothing, these are very, very small things. Don't let it happen. This is a very famous quote. कभी किसी चीज का घमंड आ जाए तो शमशान का एक चक्कर लगा आना, तुमसे बेहतरीन लोग वहां राख बने पड़े. Just say. Remember that you are dust and to dust you shall return. Don't forget this. This is going to be the happy every one of us. Then you should also learn to say no and choose your words carefully. Many people sometimes can't say no. Please learn the art of saying no. Don't lie. Don't make excuses. Don't over-explain yourself, but simply decline. You can be a good person with a kind heart and still say no. You don't have to be a bad person only for saying no. And then choose your words carefully because your words can touch anybody. Please remember, we are the master of our unspoken words, but the slave of our spoken. So be very, very careful. All top people you must have seen, they talk less because their words can always be misinterpreted in many ways. And last thing is, manage your time. Everybody gets 24 hours a day. How you manage this time, therein lies the secret to your success. Please remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. It won't be wrong if I say time management is life management. Many of us even don't bother how time is getting spent. When we were young, nobody told us. But I am telling you because this can be a turning point in your life, maybe from today onwards. This is Amitabh's quote, कल खो दिया आज के लिए, आज खो दिया कल के लिए. कभी जी ना सके हम आज के लिए, बीत रही है जिंदगी कल, आज और कल के लिए. Live in the moment. This is how time changes everybody. Look at this video. See, all these were top people with mass following. See how time changes. खूबसूरत चेहरा भी बूढ़ा हो जाता है, ताकतवर जिस्म भी एक दिन ढल जाता है, ओहदा और पद भी एक दिन खत्म हो जाता है, लेकिन एक अच्छा इंसान हमेशा अच्छा इंसान ही रहता है. So please be a good person, but don't waste time to prove it. So what I really want to convey is that at the end of the day, your biggest competition is you only. You need to master yourself. You should be the master of your mind, not the puppet. And then once you win over yourself, success will touch your feet. This is a good quote. Swarg bhi tu hai, nark bhi tu hai. In dono ka fark bhi tu. So I think its message is loud and clear. जिंदगी छोटी नहीं होती है, लोग जीना ही देरी से शुरू करते हैं. जब तक रास्ते समझ में आते हैं, तब तक लौटने का वक्त हो जाता है.
सुनो गजर क्या गाए, समय गुजरता जाए, और दिल वाले भोले भाले सोना ना. सुनो गजर क्या गाए, समय गुजरता जाए. जीवन कहीं भी ठहरता नहीं है, जीवन कहीं भी ठहरता नहीं है. आधी से तुम पास करता नहीं है. तू न चलेगा तो चल के गिरा है. तू न चलेगा तो चल के गिरा है. मंजिल को कर से तेरी निगाहें, तो चलना होगा, तो चलना.
This is about our MOOCs in Times of India. This is about our MOOCs in Times of India report. This is about Chemistry National Resource Center report. This is my article on SWAM platform, again in Times of India. This is my editorial on the world of e-learning. This is again about end of talk and chalk regime. This is in Hindustan Times about UGC MOOCs with special reference to our work. This is again my article about Indian teaching system, again in Education Times. Another article in Times of India, Higher Education. This is Chemistry Education in the 21st Century. This is a very recent article, ICT for Quality Education in India. This is in Science Reporter. This is published by CSIR. So, thank you very much. It was indeed a pleasure talking to you and sharing some of my thoughts. What I really wanted to convey was that education scenario is going to change very quickly. So if you really want to excel, you also need to change. You should be aware of what are the changes which are going to take place. And prudence demands that you be also very, very quickly changing with changing times. I'm sure things must have been clear to you. Many times, people even don't know what all is happening. So, although a lot could have been said, but in this about 1 hour talk, I just wanted to convey this. So, my best wishes, please give me your feedback. My email ID is there, my personal cell number is there. Remain in touch. Once again, a happy Teachers' Day and all the best for the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are promising on Teachers' Day that we will not stop learning. And thank you, sir, for your The quotes that you have narrated, it's really touched our heart. Thank you, sir. You have presented before us the e-contents, which I personally think many of us, mainly the students, do not have an idea. Actually, this pandemic has forced us to change our minds. We are now trying to accept these e-contents. I'm sure your session has enlightened us very much, sir. Sir, my request is that some questions has come. So should I place the questions before you, sir?
You can take, but then I may have to move. But anyway, you can take little bit.
Okay, sir. Mayuri? Mayuri?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please continue the question answer session. You just take 4 or 5 questions, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon to everyone present over here. We are very much thankful to you, sir, for your lucid presentation. Now, I would like to seek your permission to place the questions before you, sir. Shall I proceed?
Yes, please go ahead.
There are 3 questions from Cleotas Ziozate. First question is, the learning process is important. How far is creative thinking understood as a process of teaching?
No, I'm not heard because I was busy with some phone. That phone.
All right,
Repeat
sir.
it.
I'm repeating. The first question is from Cleotas Ziozate, sir. The question is, the learning process is very important. How far is creative thinking understood as a process of teaching?
You know, creative thinking cannot come in one day. A teacher, first of all, must understand the science of learning. How do students learn? They only know the art of teaching. You also have to learn the science of learning. And you know, when you tell something to the students, some changes occur in students' mind. They try to grasp it and all that. But for creative thinking, a teacher needs to create an appropriate environment. Environment means where curiosity is encouraged. And you know, once curiosity is encouraged, students will ask many questions. Why this happened? Why this happened? Why is this? Why not this? Why? Some may look stupid also, but then that is always there. And you know, out of that only creative thinking comes and creativity comes. So it is the entire process. So the reason why we are making the syllabi light is basically, you know, students have more time to think. Otherwise, you know, they have so many subjects, so many syllabus, they don't have even time to think. Just they accept because they have to clear the examination and score very well. So that's basically the thing. Because one thing you should remember, curiosity is the seed of creativity. Without curiosity, you cannot have creativity. So that's basically what we need to encourage. Please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The next question is from Cleotas Ziozate, sir, only. The second question is, if the curriculum is influenced by political and business forces, then it may get biased. How do we ensure that only the clear-minded academicians govern this process?
Would you please repeat the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If the curriculum is influenced by the political and the business forces, then it may get biased. How do we ensure that only the clear-minded academicians govern this process?
You know, it's not right to say that. For example, now with this new education policy, I can see that I am a member of the national committee which is developing curriculum at school level. So I think there is a very fair discussion on every aspect. There is nothing, we are some interests are there. No. We will take a decision what is in the interest of the country and what is in the interest of the students. Even if we have to take inputs from the industries, because tomorrow the students who are selected or who pass they have to be absorbed in industries. So what type of skill set they need, what type of curriculum we should have. Taking inputs is not a problem, and having them in a committee developing curriculum is not a bad idea, because you may not be knowing everything. That's basically the thing. So I don't see any reason why we should not have a good curriculum. I had written earlier NCERT book for the country. There was no pressure. I gave the best. Hello, next.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. The next question is, MOOC seems to be a good solution for the current scenario. How far can we ensure the good assessment system that actually determine the creative reflection quotient of the learner?
This is also a serious problem because, as I said, assessment derives learning, but then, teachers need to be trained for that. How to set such good questions. That is the serious problem in our system. Teachers do not know, because teachers themselves have been the product of the system which had focused on rote learning and scoring high marks. But suddenly coming on this side, they will not settle. So they need to be trained. So this is something which we need to take very, very seriously. Because even in the new education policy, it is very clearly mentioned that there will be a shift from rote learning to innovative creative thinking. But then how? There is no clear-cut plan how the teachers will be trained. There are about 1.5 million teachers in higher education and 3.5 million teachers in school education. Taken together, they are controlling the total education in the country. So some of them are very old, some of them are young, so they need to be trained. So without training, everything may be on paper and nothing will be achieved. That's what I feel. Thank you. I would like to conclude because I have another appointment. Somebody is calling me again and again. So
Thank you, sir.
My email, I have given they can always talk to me.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. We will keep in touch with you, sir. And thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation, sir.
No, it's a pleasure, and thank you very much for inviting me, and we will certainly remain in touch.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Pinto to continue the session with vote of thanks.
Okay, you are having vote of thanks, so I will stay till that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because I told them I am coming in 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. It's my pleasure.
Good afternoon to all my participants. As all good things come to an end in life, so is the webinar. On behalf of Sarsuna College, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar entitled COVID-19 Changing Role of the Teacher and Educational Institution, jointly organized by Department of Education and Department of Economics of our institution. I thank you all, our respected participants, for participating in this webinar. I hope you all have enriched your knowledge and enjoy participating in this webinar as much as we enjoyed having you here. Thank you again, all of you, and hope to see you all participating in a program organized by our institution. First and foremost, I thank our special resource person, Professor A.K. Boxi, founder, Vice Chancellor of PDM University, Haryana, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Sir, your valuable speech have enlightened our minds and have shown us how the education system is modifying its dimensions. You share too much things with us that I personally think some of us may even do not have an idea. I thank our another dignitary, Dr. Sravanti Maiti, Associate Professor, Department of Economics, Vidyasagar University. She, with her speech, has placed before us the challenges that higher education is going to face or is facing in this pandemic situation. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Amulya Kumar Acharya, Associate Professor and Head PG Department of Education, Fakir Mohun University, for his valuable contribution in this webinar. Through his speech, he put forward the challenging role of the teachers in this COVID-19 situation. I would like to extend my most sincere thanks to our respected principal sir for leading and inspiring us for conducting this webinar. We are grateful to him for his huge support like all times. My heartfelt thanks goes to Dr. Indrani Nath and Dr. Piali Dasgupta for their valuable guidance in all our efforts. At the outset, I would like to thank our technical supervisor, dear Saurabh, Monodeep, and especially Minalda. A special thanks to organizing committee, teaching staff for their support and coordination. With this one word and a kind message, we move to end of today's national webinar. Thank you. Thank you all.
With this, we come to an end of our webinar. Thank you all. Thank you, sir, Professor Baxi. Thank you for staying with us for 5 minutes extra, sir. Thank you.
সবাই এন্ড করে গেছে, সবাই লিভ করে গেছে। 110 জন লিভ করে যা, মাকে জিজ্ঞেস করবি মা কত চায়।
খাবারের ব্যবস্থা তো আমি করবোই। না না, সবার না লিখলে আমার মা লিখতে তো পারবে না। আমি করলে তো ইউটিউবটা বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে। বাবা, 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 তুমি তুলে দে তো। দেখো ব্যোমকেশ বার্মান।
মানে একে বাক্সি হচ্ছে ব্যোমকেশ বক্সির বাবা। বাবা ব্যোমকেশ বক্সি, দাদু
ব্যোমকেশ বক্সি বেঁচে নেই। কত কমেন্ট করলো।
কমেন্ট করি।
ভাতটা গরম করতে হবে না আরে মা কোনো হোস্ট মা যদি লিভ করে দেয় তাহলে মুশকিল এখানে লিভ করবো আবার রাজু চক্রবর্তী and 4 others joined তুই ভিডিও অফ কর তাহলে এখান থেকে লিভ করবো এখান থেকে লিভ করলে ইউটিউবে কি বন্ধ হবে ইন স্ট্রিম করে দাও বাবা ইন স্ট্রিম ইন স্ট্রিম করে দেবো ইন স্ট্রিম করে দেবো